I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate.
ATP, what it do with your boy Clay Morell? Yeah, we back at it. It's at ATP Combat Media Show. Back at you with another one. So David Benavidez, shout out to all my subscribers. Shout out to all my subscribers. If it's your first time tapping into the content, listen, hit the subscribe button, hit your bell icons, get these alerts so you are, hit the bell icon so you are getting these alerts when this content is dropping. I don't want to act like I'm in a rush. I'm going to try to chill, but I do got something I got to get to. But I wanted to cover this right here. David Benavidez, let's talk about a light heavyweight division. David Benavidez, currently the interim WBC light heavyweight champion. You guys remember he made his debut at the light heavyweight division, leaving 168 pounds because of issues getting a fight with Canelo Alvarez, a mandatory that really should have been acted. Anyway, moving forward, now he's in the light heavyweight division, an interim title holder. And listen, a lot of people argue as an actual next in line to fight the winner of Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, who was scheduled to fight for an undisputed light heavyweight championship in October, right? But until then, David Benavidez, wants to stay active, and he should stay active. He's coming from a situation to where he's finally going to get an opportunity to get a shot at a title, but he doesn't want to get cold, and he wants to give a better performance. His last performance, first performance of light heavyweight, turned out to be a lackluster performance as he went into it with injuries, things of that nature, that he was able to win, and in my opinion, dominate in many ways as far as winning rounds, but he did kind of look like he may have had he may have been exposed, right? But not taking into consideration the injuries, right? You know how the boxing community is. They didn't want to hear any excuses. But that being said, wanting to move forward, coordinate something to get active in December, as I believe the plans are that the PBC wants to put him and Tank Davis back on the card again, as they were on the card together. They found that to be successful. So it looks like they're going by the same model. They want to have David Benavidez as a co-main event, or maybe a main event on this card, I don't know, with Tank Davis. Rumors are going around that Jesse Hart was a fighter that they were looking to line this up with, right? Jesse Hart was supposed to be a fighter that they were lining this up with, but then rumors started to come out that David Benavidez was actually looking to make his fights more significant, right? There were text messages going out and Instagram posts and social media everywhere mentioning and pointing towards the direction of Jesse Hart being somebody who's going to be a likely opponent to be put into the conversation, right? And Jesse Hart put on his Instagram, I don't know nothing about the fight, about fighting David Benavidez. I haven't spoken to anybody involving details about us fighting. I don't know where these guys are getting this narrative. So it's starting to look like fake news is everywhere in the air. What's going on? Well, today Boxing Scene, shout out to Boxing Scene, put out an article today saying David Benavidez woke up Wednesday with an epiphany. Wednesday being yesterday. What was the epiphany? I don't want to fight somebody who doesn't mean something for my career. I only want to fight the best available. The best out there now is David Morell. Wow. With that, unbeaten WBC interim light heavyweight champion Benavidez connected with a representative of his team and requested that he offer Cuba's unbeaten light heavyweight Morell a fight. A boxing official connected to the situation told Boxing Scene Thursday that an offer from the Phoenix's Benavidez has been sent over to a representative of Morell, and they are waiting for the hear back. What's so nice about this, and this is quote, is that it's the boxer making decision. He's the one reaching out to make the fight, the boxing official said. Interesting, right? Interesting. So now you're seeing David Benavidez trying to take his career into his own hand, as he's just come from a situation to where he was really waiting on another fighter to give him an opportunity to get a title fight. He says, at this point in my career, where I'm at right now, look, I want to make my fights and my next fights the best fights. I want them to all be significant. This is a fighter that has earned a lot of respect in the boxing game, but still has a part of the boxing community and the boxing space that's questioning his legitimacy as a light heavyweight contender at this point, right? It's one thing to be dominant at 168 pounds, doing what you're doing, but when you're getting all types of jackets put on you about weight bullying and being this real tall, big fighter, way bigger than everybody in the division, he still has a space in his heart, obviously, where he wants to make his fights more significant, right? Well, at 175, he had his opportunity. He debuted and didn't give that performance he wanted. But Turki Al-Sheikh said, listen, man, there was a point in time when David Benavidez was asking Turki Al-Sheikh to respectfully, if you could finance this fight between me and Canelo Alvarez, I'd be most appreciative. Turki said, listen, I'm not interested in paying Canelo Alvarez any obscene amount of money. But what I can do is this. Look, come up to light heavyweight, win this title fight against Vosnik at the time, get yourself an interim WBC title, and I'll do you one better. I'll put you in position to go ahead and get a shot at the winner between Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. This is going to put David Benavidez in position to be a light heavyweight undisputed champion, right? Opportunity of a lifetime. One of the many great things that Turki Al-Sheikh seems to be bringing to the space right now. Of course, David Benavidez jumps on that opportunity, leaves his 168-pound ambitions of being a champion there, and says, listen, this is the next best thing. But the performance that he put on a few months back just didn't cut it, right? Going into it with injuries to his ribs, his hands. He had a cut that was in the middle of healing to his eye, and things that I probably don't even remember, or, you know what I'm saying, that I have no idea about, right? So he wants another opportunity, but Jesse Hart was going to be a great tune-up fight. Now, no offense to Jesse Hart, a great fighter in his own right, but Jesse Hart, I'm sure, looked like was going to be more of a tune-up fight, a fight that didn't really hold any real significance for David Benavidez. He wants to make an impact on the space. So what does he do? Well, a fight with David Morell. This fight, keep in mind, David Morell, also coming up from 168 pounds, was an interim WBA title holder down there, or a regular WBA title holder down there, came up to the light heavyweight division around the same time and got himself an opportunity to be put into a fight with Hot Rod to get a regular WBA title up there, right? Once again, not that great of a performance, lackluster, but he won the fight, right? The Cuban-born fighter won the fight, and he is now a WBA interim title there. And in his own right, could be another option for the winner of Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev to get an opportunity to become undisputed light heavyweight. The whole entire boxing space has been screaming for these guys to fight each other. The only reason why David Benavidez didn't pull the trigger on this fight happening at 168 was because he was in contention and mandatory to Canelo Alvarez to get a shot at being an undisputed super middleweight champion, right? So, of course, he was pushing David Morell to the side, saying, listen, I would fight you, but I have other fish I want to fry right now. Sorry. Some people accepted that as a legitimate excuse as to why he was moving. Other people felt like he was ducking David Morell. Well, look how God works. They're both in the same division again. They're both holding the same regular titles where, David Benavidez is holding an interim title and David Morell back to holding a regular title. And it looks like David Benavidez has thrown out an email, right? Reached out, opened the line of communication to the David Morell team, asking them and letting them know that he's interested in putting a fight together. He only wants the most significant fight. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the most significant fight that David Benavidez could get involved in outside of the Canelo Alvarez fight, right? Forget about the Artur Beterbiev and the Dimitri Bivol. This is old, unfinished business, a fight that a lot of people felt like should have happened at 168 pounds. Did not happen there. They're having an opportunity to put it together here at 175 pounds, and I think it's great. Right now, it's going to be up to the PBC and the powers that be to go ahead and coordinate, make this a worthwhile offer for David Morell, and we can see a great fight hopefully in December. That would just add to that PBC card as far as an action-packed card is concerned. Both these guys are not ice cold, coming off recent performances. David Morell coming off that Riyadh season, Los Angeles card that just passed, and David Benavidez, of course, was a co-main event on that Gervonta Tank Davis fight earlier this year. I think that's a great fight. We have to see how the PBC moves with it. It looks like the PBC is getting it the same time we're getting it, as David Benavidez was the one to initiate the communication with David Morell's team. David Morell's already responded on his own Instagram saying that he turns down no fights. He's more than happy and excited to get involved with a fight like this. Keep in mind that David Morell at 168 pounds was calling for this fight there. So he's more than ready to take this fight. This is just about the PBC and the powers that be, Amazon, whoever is helping to finance this situation, are able to come together and make this work. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Are you looking forward to this? Is this a big fight? Is David Morell and David Benavidez still hold that weight? Does it still get that attention? Is it still one of the biggest fights? Is it the fight that we've been looking for? Is it the fight that David Benavidez has been looking for? Has the community been looking for this fight to come together? I personally think so. I think outside of Canelo Alvarez and the way he's been moving right now, I think it's reasonable to argue that he hasn't been fighting the right competition, that these two guys were argued to be able to stop Canelo Alvarez. There's a lot of arguments there saying that Canelo Alvarez, I don't want to use the D word, but let's just say purposefully did not get in the ring with these guys, saying things like David Benavidez only brings 25 pounds to the division. I mean, they were both pretty big for the super middleweight division, but at the light heavyweight division, look, they've been made to look human, look like they can take a beating as well as give one. But all that stopping power and all that domination, it just didn't look like that in both these guys' last showing. So let's see what happens. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about it. Is it David Benavidez and David Morell fight, a huge fight, potentially one of the biggest fights that can be made for the PBC this year? Or do we rather just see David Benavidez played safe, take that fight with Jesse Hart? Once again, no shots at Jesse Hart, just to say that, David Morell seems to be a high risk, some might say low reward. I mean, that does put David Benavidez in position to grab that WBA title off of him, but it's not the real thing, right? The real titles are up there with Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. But at the same time, as far as a fan-friendly, a fight that the fans want to see, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Once again, shout out to all my subscribers. Man, I can't thank you guys enough. The channel's moving forward. We're growing slowly, but for surely. I love the community. We're building all the time. Look out for me on Blue Blood channel, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, where I'm co-hosting over there on this channel. Of course, Monday night and Tuesday night, you can catch my own live where me and my co-host Ray Davis is breaking down all the current things going on in boxing. If you're interested in the content, if you like what we're doing here and you haven't subscribed, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do that now. Make sure you hit your bell icons as well so you are getting alerts when all this content is dropping. But you know how we carry it. Same way we came in. At this point, we out.